master of the future, and you're gonna listen to me. Oh, this future thing is not working out for anybody. Listen to what I have to say. Welcome to Back Issues. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
One of the earliest episodes we ever did was Batman Gotham by Gaslight from Brian Augustine and Mike Mignola. They did a sequel a couple of years after that, which we are going to talk about today. One of the reasons why we're going to do that is because it's a Batman book. The other reason is because the Elseworlds line ended years ago, and they resurrected it a couple of years back. And one of the first new Elseworlds books was a sequel to Gotham by Gaslight. 30 years afterwards.
Okay.
Right.
I was going to jump into Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age, but then I thought, wait a minute, we never did the actual first sequel to Gotham by Gaslight, which is Master of the Future.
What? How is that a
Batman,
sequel to Gotham by Gaslight?
Master of the Future.
Master of the Future. Because it's a continuation of Gotham by Gaslight.
Oh.
Okay.
Now, so
But this is so is that a
this is
prequel?
the third sequel.
Oh, so it's a trilogy.
It is a trilogy.
Oh
Kind of.
no! We're doing another trilogy on the
That's
couch.
right. Oh no! One day we'll cap off the trilogy with the Kryptonian Age, but not today. But
Not
it is
today.
not this day.
Maybe next week.
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
We'll see what comes down the line.
I mean, if it does, okay.
So how come this is called Master of the Future and that one is called Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age?
Well, I will tell you why. Because
Nobody remembers this.
well, there's actual okay.
They're
so there's two
aping off the
reasons.
thing that people actually remember fondly.
Yes, and I want to say that there was a little bit of integrity back then, where they were like, well, that would be derivative. It's not like it's the Gotham by Gaslight universe.
But now it is.
But now it is.
Well, after Grant Morrison, it was Earth 19 or something.
Right.
Like, yes. So
You're right, it's not the Gotham by Gaslight universe.
that's right. It's Earth 19. I'll show you the map.
That's even worse.
Put it away.
Put it away. Damn it, Grant, put your map away. It is a couple years after Gotham by Gaslight. The Elseworlds imprint was invented after Gotham by Gaslight debuted. They were like, ooh, that's a nice idea. Let's call it something. So Elseworlds was coined. Denny O'Neil tells Brian Augustine, hey, Gotham by Gaslight sold really good. Make another one. And he's like, okay.
Naturally.
And again, this is
Yeah,
during-
why not?
Yeah, exactly. But also, why not? Because it's over.
Because it was a self-contained story that had a beginning, middle, and end.
Yes, Jack the Ripper murdered the Waynes. Batman stops him, and they're related. Like, you know, that's it. The book.
Yeah, but what other shenanigans
What
did he
else
get
could
into?
happen?
Right. We
How
wanna
does
see-
he
How do we
become
get the
our
Hunchback of
Batman?
Notre Dame in there?
Yeah. How do we see the Riddler by Gaslight? You know, like, I don't care. And what's so great about the first Gotham by Gaslight is there is no analog. It's Batman during that time. And
But how
Gordon's
does
there and stuff.
how does he become the Batman we know today?
What? He wouldn't.
He would be
What?
dead.
Yeah.
But
he
this
would
is
die
in the
of old
past.
age.
He should morph into our Batman. This is a prequel, right?
No, it's another universe where Batman starts in like the 1890s. The literal end of Gotham by Gaslight is Gordon being like, what about you? And Batman goes, I am leaving. And then it's over.
What, I've got to
Screw
stick
this place.
around and be like a superhero?
Well, it's
in
funny
your-
because that's what this book is about. And it's very interesting. So jumping into Master of the Future. That's what it's called.
Weird
Batman Master of
title.
the Future. No reference to Gotham by Gaslight. And no title on the front of any publication of this. It's just
Awkward.
Well, here you go. I mean, aren't you intrigued?
How am I even supposed to know what this is?
Well, it's a Batman logo, and it's Batman's friggin' face.
yeah.
As
What
long
more
as-
do you want?
Is it?
More or less. And look at all the stitching. That's why you know that it's different or something. I don't know.
Plus, it's got that Elseworlds.
It's got the
Ooh, what's this?
Oh shit.
Yeah, I might have maybe tried to capitalize on the fact that it is a sequel
You
to...
made a sequel. You're clearly trying to capitalize on it.
Right. Yeah, but like that would be derivative.
Right.
So I want to hide
Well, and-
and obfuscate the fact that I did that.
Yes. So Augustine is like, I'm going to try
Okay.
something different.
This is 91.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This came out after Batman 1989.
Yes.
So they probably had so much hype around the logo. They're just like, we're just going to do
Yeah, get that
him and the
logo.
logo.
Yeah.
All
but it's
the
a different logo
little
than you
divots
used
on the
to.
bottom.
If you have iconography this distinct and striking, you should try to capitalize on it.
Sure, but maybe put like a title on there too.
Maybe a title. That's why it's on the back.
And the side.
Right, where all titles go.
And the inside cover,
Great.
Master of the
I'm
Future.
going to make you pick it up. You have to pick it up
Yeah,
to know
look
what
how
it is.
intriguing this
I will
is.
say that's not a bad marketing strategy.
Yeah.
Like, hey, that cover.
Yeah, what is
I
that?
have to look at it and see what it is.
See?
And now it's in your hands.
I kind of love it. I kind of love that idea, and I wish they did it. It's the same where I wish they would still do that a la Batman 89, where it's like, you got the Batman logo. Just put the Batman logo on a poster, and we're done. So this is written by Brian Augustine, again, with art this time by Eduardo Barreto. And this also takes place 3 years after Gotham by Gaslight. As it was made 3 years after Gotham by Gaslight.
Do we have to remember what happened in Gotham by Gaslight?
No.
Because I don't at all.
I know. It's been a long time since we talked about it, but I can tell you that you don't really need much context outside of the fact that he fought Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper ended up being related to Bruce, and Bruce's parents were killed by him, and so Batman has solved the mystery of who killed his parents by being Batman. So Augustine is like, well, I did that, and I'm not going to be able to do it again. Plus, I don't want to. And I believed him.
I don't.
I believed him.
No, I did.
Everyone wants to
trusted him.
do that again. What a fantastic success.
No, I mean, he wants
Doesn't
to
mean you want
replicate
to say the
success.
same story.
No, that's right. And he wants to do something different with the premise and time period. And so, whereas Gotham by Gaslight was this really moody, deep, psychological thriller, this one is more of like a Jules Verne-esque fantastical story. Plus, no flamboyant villains in its predecessor.
Right.
So in this time, he gets to play it up. Plus, Batman is nothing but flamboyant villains. Like, every single Batman villain you could think of is flashy or bombastic in some way. Or at
Yeah,
least
they're very animated,
larger
full
than
of
life.
characters.
Whereas Batman fought Jack the Ripper in the last one.
Now, I do have to point out, because I am leafing through Gotham by Gaslight.
Which does have Master of the Future paired with it. Our trade has both. You're looking at Master of the Future right now.
That's why. Okay, because I'm like, this looks very fantastic.
Yeah, once the colors start showing up, you know you're in Master of the Future.
Oh, I see. That's there. Oh, there it is. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
I would argue it was a mistake to package them together, but also this thing is really thin, and there's no way you can get the money out of people. And for the longest time, there were only 2 Gotham by Gaslight stories. So why not package them together? Especially if they're written by the same guy.
This doesn't even tell you that the second one is called Master of the Future.
Well, because nobody cares.
Why would I tell you that? It's Gotham by Gaslight.
even when you get to it,
And the backup.
it doesn't have the title.
It doesn't even show you the title.
There's no way to tell from looking at this book that there's 2 books in
It's like
here,
Augustine
one
had
of
a
which is
really
called Master of the Future.
Augustine had like a strong and hard and fast rule. Never put the title on the cover. Master of the Future will never have a front cover title. In any iteration.
And it's perfect because it's just Brian Augustine, Michael Mignola, Craig Russell, Eduardo Barreto.
Yeah, it's like
But it is
Barreto did draw the second story in this collection.
Is it called Gotham by Gaslight?
No!
Who cares?
Right, well, shut up. And that's really what this is.
Yeah.
But I'm glad. I really enjoyed this. I thought it was a lot of fun. And it's also so great that he tried something else. It's the 1890s, you know? Let's play with that concept. What's interesting is, of course, if you go back and look at the Kryptonian age, it's like, oh, that's more like it. That's what I would... Yeah, if I were to task someone in the 2020s with doing a sequel to Gotham by Gaslight, 30 or 40 years removed, they would do this. But Augustine's like, no. And you can see, and I want to say there's some depth and interesting, weird allusions to DC and Batman stuff in here, but also never does the thing. There is no, woohoo, I'm the Joker! There's no Dr. Victor Freeze and his Sub-Zero experiments at the fair!
Well, that is remarkably restrained.
I can't believe it, as restrained as this cover.
Well, that's because the fair wasn't around at that point.
Oh, the fair is going to be... The
Oh,
fair,
there are definitely
I only mentioned the
fairs.
fair because the fair is so important in
There's
this.
a fair, but that wasn't the World's Fair, right?
No, but there was a massive Chicago Expo that was happening in the 1890s, and Augustine wanted to play that up and use it in this.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah. But anyway, the story opens 3 years later, and Bruce Wayne is talking to a business associate / friend, you know, whatever rich people call friends. And so they are at a pugilist match, and it is punctuated by where the Batman outfit is. And it is collecting dust and cobwebs in the cellar of the Wayne estate. And Bruce is talking about how he's a man now, and it's time to let go of childish things and fantasies. You know, like being Batman. He didn't say being Batman,
Right.
but the pictures depict what he's actually talking about.
That's pretty good.
And I love it. He's just like, it's just done. I'm done being a little scared boy. It's time
Yeah.
for me to embrace adult man things to do, like marrying.
Not man thing.
No.
That was my outfit that I wear when I'm solving my parents' mystery.
And
I
I'm
did
not
that.
anymore.
It's over. Why would
Yeah.
I wear it again?
And that's the idea.
I only did that one time.
Right. But no.
That's not like my thing.
We carried on being Batman a little bit.
Oh, he
and then
did.
went, what am I doing?
Wait, what am I doing?
Right. Like, you probably got
This is
stabbed one
ridiculous.
time and we're like, oh my God!
Oh, this is a mistake.
I am not doing this. Well, the
In
thing
the leg
is,
by a hooker.
yeah. Well, the reality is, I'm sure there was a correlation between him being engaged to Julie Madison and not being Batman anymore.
Who the hell is Julie Madison?
Julie Madison is his once and future beloved. There's Julie Madisons throughout the multiverse, but also in the golden age of Batman, Julie Madison was like one of the first girlfriends of Bruce Wayne. And Scott Snyder resurrected her during the New 52 0-year run. And so we've seen her a number of times, but in this case, Augustine's like, ooh, deep cut, Julie Madison. It's 91. I could reference Vicky Vale or something.
It would have been Victoria.
Yeah, there you go.
Victoria Vale.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe I would do that. But you know what? That's derivative and lame. I'm not going to do that. No. There were Julies in 1890. I'm going to just go with Julie Madison. Plus, it doesn't matter. She's just a woman in a Batman book anyway.
She's also a woman in the 1890s. It doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, she doubly doesn't matter.
Yeah. I am abandoning my childish fantasy camp of a Batman outfit. I'm not Batman anymore.
Yeah, how does that make
Fair.
me money?
Yeah, no, he's not like that. He's just kind of like, that was what a child would do.
Isn't he rich?
Yeah.
How does Batman make me money?
He's not thinking about it in that term.
He's the kind of rich where he doesn't have to worry about how to make money.
No, that's true.
My money makes itself.
Right.
It's
It
a
works for me.
self-perpetuating machine.
But I do crave excitement from time to time, which may explain why I'm in this pugilist match watching these two bare-knuckle brawlers beating the living shit out of each other. And so,
Is one of them Bane?
I wish, but Bane wasn't invented yet. But also, I think that Augustine would be like, Bane? How derivative can you be? I'm not going to put Bane in here.
Why would there be a Bane?
Right.
This is the 1890s.
Gotham by Gaslight. There's no Bane.
Yeah.
Look at this massive, like, dump truck of a man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this guy makes money punching people with no boxing gloves on. He better be big. So his business partner or whatever is complaining about how his guy went down and he believes it's rigged. And he harumphed his way into an altercation where he accuses the boxing promoter and the fighter of fixing the match. And so the boxing promoter is like, well, how about you get up in the ring and fight my guy and square your debt then? And he's like, I am not going to do that. And Bruce's like, I'll fight for him. And he's like, and they're like, please, Mr. Wayne, come on up. Anyway, Wayne destroys this guy off panel. We don't see him fight him. We just see him engage with the pugilist, and then the crowd goes wild. And you're like, that's great. I don't need to see Bruce Wayne punch
Theater of
this
the
guy.
mind.
Yeah, right. Except I'm also looking at a comic book.
I would like to see what happened.
If I'm reading a superhero comic book, I mean, the basic premise is that I'm going to see two people punching. But also,
Good Lord, look at that over there.
yeah. But what's that? Flip page.
Just imagine that scene from the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movie.
That's
where he-
exactly what I was thinking of.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, he's like anticipating the guy's moves and stuff, and
Yeah.
like thinking of the scientific names for body parts. As he's,
Exactly. But Bruce also makes sure to tell his friend to bet against the hulking guy that he's fighting. So the guy makes his money back and then some, and he's like, Bruce, what the crap was that? And he's like, yeah, when I was a kid, I used to do a lot of fighting and stuff. It doesn't matter. Who cares? Moving on. And I'm like, yeah, that's fun. I like the idea that Bruce Wayne is like, yeah, I used to beat the shit out of people for the last 3 years, and I stopped doing it.
I know how.
But I
really
still-
well.
I know how, and I
Yeah.
kind of like doing it.
yeah, I kind of miss it.
Yeah, this gets his feet wet again.
Exactly. And he's just like, wow. And I can't believe, and I would be, and his business partner makes a comment about how like his fiance would have been like swooning to see him display that level of masculinity. And he's like, I doubt she would believe it. So then we see that Julie tells a story to her friend Maddie about how a couple of years back, she and her friends or business associates, the idea is that they run a welfare clinic.
Okay.
And so the three of them are walking home at night, and they are stopped by a couple of ruffians who are looking to shake them down. The only man in their company pees his pants and falls down, they beat the crap out of him. Like they say Dr. Gilmore was very, very gallant, and then they took him out. At least he didn't go like, oh, and just pass
He's a
out.
dandy. He
Yes.
can't
Well, he's a doctor.
fight.
He's a delicate man. He has more.
Oh,
his
good
strengths
heavens.
Are in other places. So she describes how Batman swept in, beat the living shit out of all of them, and how awesome that was. I want to say, because Augustine, I think, is also a talented writer, that this fight is a metaphor for Julie Madison getting down. Because the way she describes it is, I think, a little suggestive.
Evocative.
He did not speak a word before he leapt into battle. It was brutal yet somehow fascinating. His actions were so precise, so deliberate. It almost seemed balletic. I tried to call out, but shock had stolen my voice. Like he's so good at what he does that
I
it
couldn't even
almost made me
cry
scream.
out.
I couldn't scream. It was so amazing. But somehow he knew how good he was at it, and he kept going. And then, before we knew it, it was over.
Well, it sounded like it didn't last that long.
Well, listen, I think everyone was pretty satisfied with his performance. So then, I love
I'm just saying, it could have fought for a little longer.
So Batman is like leaving his calling card, which as far as I could tell is literally a little card with a bat logo on it. And so Julie wants to talk to him, and he deliberately turns away from her. It's like, oh shit, she knows me. And if she looks at the bottom half of my face, you're gonna recognize that as Bruce Wayne. But whispers goodbye, and then he was gone. It was so unreal and dreamlike, simply amazing. And it's like, look, Julie's describing this experience of meeting a strong man in an alley to her girlfriend. Like, this is, oh my God, you will not believe the dude I bumped into the other day.
Yeah. It was weird that he left cab fare as well with the card, though.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate that. And they're like, okay, that's weird, because Batman, I think, is like a monster or something. And she's like, no. And meanwhile, in the newspaper that she's reading, it says, Batman missing? Because Batman hasn't been around for a while. Because Bruce Wayne is too busy fixing boxing matches for his friends.
Whoa. He was getting the guy's money back.
Right. Which he lost in a bet. I don't know if...
But he thought it was fixed.
But he thought it was fixed. There's no proof, except for the fact that the characters that he accuses look sinister.
Yeah. And the fact that the guy is giant.
Oh, yeah.
Had the giant guy taken a tumble...
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that.
That's
the
fair.
guy you bet on was half the size of the guy who won. Why would you think it's fixed? Why did you bet on that little guy?
I don't know. Bruce was littler than the other guy.
Because here's the thing. I bet on that guy before I saw the opponent.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
right.
fair.
And then this brick shithouse walked out, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh no.
Yeah, maybe they presented a different fighter, and then he's like, okay, no, that was his brother. This is the real fighter. It's
Yeah.
like, what? Meanwhile, Gordon has been promoted, and he is kind of like, man, where is Batman? Not that, like...
Not that I need him.
Because the idea was that, like, in the previous Gotham by Gaslight, there was a character, Tolliver, who thought that Bruce Wayne was Jack the Ripper and, like, led a holy crusade to get Bruce behind bars. And now Tolliver is the mayor, and that made room for Gordon to become commissioner. And that's like, okay, you know what? I love that. I love the idea that this douchey, corrupt individual became the mayor.
The mayor, yeah.
And it left room in the police department for Gordon to ascend.
You know,
I mean, go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't remember any of that except Tolliver.
Tolliver.
I very specifically
Name that
remember a
name.
character named Tolliver.
I've definitely heard the name. I want to say it's not that far-fetched. Like, maybe it's not corruption. He was correct in the fact that it was a Wayne.
Well, that's true. That's
Jack
true.
the Ripper is related to Bruce.
Yeah. The other thing is, like, it's a quick and easy way to end the case. Like, oh, it's this guy. I don't trust him. He's the guy. Batman shows up out of nowhere during one of the worst crimes of our city, makes me commissioner, allows Tolliver to get elected mayor, stops Jack the Ripper but takes no credit for it, spends a year saving the city, and then leaves.
Who does that?
Yes.
What kind of man?
But in extraordinary times, we need extraordinary help. We need him. Where is he? Meanwhile, at Wayne Estate...
Why? What's going on in Gotham?
Just all the things. It's just
I miss my friend.
Yeah, I think that's really what it is. I need somebody to talk to, and I can only talk about crime. But also, Tolliver is pushing for a huge fair in Gotham to put Gotham on the world's map.
on the map. Yeah.
And that will be attracting tons of attention from across the world. Don't forget, Jack the Ripper came from England. And
So we need Batman to protect us.
Yeah, from any foreign invaders that might come in here and
Oh my God.
mess up our city. That is not what Gordon is necessarily saying, but it is a thing that Gordon is concerned about. We're going to get a lot of people.
Yeah.
Some of them may be bad apples. All I know is the city's population is
or
going to
bad
increase.
hombres.
I am not saying that. I deliberately didn't say that. In point of fact, Gordon does accuse the real ne'er-do-wells to being from states around Gotham, not from boats from other countries. So,
Okay.
good on you, Gordon. Anyway, meanwhile at Wayne Manor, Batman is talking, Bruce is talking to Alfred, and he's just like, am I done being Batman? Are you sure? And he's like, I mean, you stopped your parents' murderer. What else is there to be for Batman?
Yeah, why would you keep doing it?
And he's like, I don't know. I just feel like, you know,
I feel like I could do something.
I feel like I could be doing more. Like, I have all these extraordinary skills. I stopped crime. And this seems pretty good. And Alfred goes, in 18 months since you've attempted to carry out as Batman, you found yourself full of doubts about the rightness of your cause. Without that guy looming over you, maybe you don't need to be Batman anymore.
Right, without a super villain,
Yeah.
it's kind of like it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Maybe let the police handle it,
Right.
Mr. Wayne.
So he's like, all right, I guess I can live without Batman. And hopefully the city will be able to do the same. So Batman gets more involved in like local politics instead. Or at least Bruce Wayne decides to go to a big city council meeting about affairs within the city, which includes the fair goings on. There's one dude from the West who runs a Wild West show. And he wants permission to set up his Wild West show within the fair. And the mayor is like, we don't want your West Coast cowboy shit-kicking yeehaw bullshit in our haughty East Coast Ivy League city.
Get out of here! What was your name? Wild Bill?
Yeah. Well, it's like, this fair is about the future.
Yes, it's not about the past.
Yeah.
And you are glamorizing a brutal and miserable time. And I don't want to fill the heads of our impressionable citizens with that nonsense. And he's like, so he leaves.
You haven't seen the last of him.
No, you do. He's gone.
Okay. Why is he so distinct then?
What?
Why
Anyway.
is that even in the book? Why did we devote a whole page to that?
I don't know. He's just there. It's just to show you, like, these are the kind of characters that go to meet with the mayor.
Oh,
And I'm
I
like,
see.
I guess.
Don't forget about the West. The West was happening too.
Yeah, and they're trying to take our money. Like, yeah, we're all getting
Yeah.
shot and typhoid out here,
Yeah,
but
cowboys were a big deal in the 1890s. Got it. Thank you.
it's like, well, I think it's more like they were on their way out by the 1890s.
This
They're
is the
like,
transition.
but all I know how to do is shoot people and ride horses. What the hell am I going to do in the 1900s?
Who's this man in the shadows?
Oh,
What's
who
that all
indeed?
about?
Yeah, you'll see him in just a second.
Okay.
Meanwhile, a doctor comes in, he's like, anyway, leeches. Bravo!
You're in. You're hired. You're our chief of medicine. So Claypool shows up, this character who he owns a bunch of properties in the slums of Gotham, and he wants a kind of like reclamation project. He wants the city to invest in it and build it up because we got all these people here and they need help and aid and growth and stuff like that.
That's nice.
And the mayor is like, no, I'm not going to be dedicating any money to anything other than the fair. Like the fair takes precedence over your low-income housing.
Right.
Here's the thing. Bringing new people in is more important than taking care of the people that are already here.
This is true.
Right.
And
Because those people are poor.
right.
If I could just.
No, I'm more interested in bringing in more new European dollars
Right.
than I am trying to invest my money into our infrastructure.
Yeah, that's the past. We're talking about the future.
Yeah, okay.
Your slums are the past. But they're literally here right now.
So then this character shows up and he yells, "Fool!" and he's in the window. And everyone's like, what the fuck? And he is,
A pirate?
no, he's like
he
a
Spanish?
French Legionnaire or something.
Oh, okay.
That is Leroy.
Which is French for the Roy.
Alexandre Leroy. It's actually French for the king. This is where I'm like, what are you doing? Because here's the idea, right? Let's take this out of context and just kind of describe what's happening. We're in Gotham. A window opens and a red-cloaked man of tomorrow, self-appointed,
Oh.
shows up. I have extraordinary power. I am the man of tomorrow. And if you don't make me your leader, I will destroy you. And I'm like, is this like a Superman reference?
Yeah, he's the man of tomorrow.
He's the man of tomorrow. He's got a red
mean,
cape. I'm like,
kind of, but make me your king?
yeah, this is
Yeah.
a guy who's like, I have mastery over untold technology and the future. I got this weird vibe that this is as close to greater DC references as we're gonna get. Like in the Gotham by Gaslight universe, the energies of its universe will absorb any idea and then wholly
reshift it.
reshift it into something that resembles something relevant only to the story that's being told at the time.
So is his underwear on the inside or the outside?
It is on the inside.
Okay, then he's not Superman.
Right.
But he does have a weird red belt thing.
Uh-huh.
That's a little bit baggy around his waistline. I mean, I wouldn't have, if not for the, I am the man of tomorrow,
Man of Tomorrow
I would
thing,
say
and you go,
he's
"Oh my
not Superman
God."
at all. But like, he calls himself the man of tomorrow.
I just thought it was odd. I was like,
Yeah.
what an odd decision. Plus, like, the people in the crowd are like, how did he get up there? That's the 9th floor window. This is insane. Like, he must have powers or something. Like, they are blown away by a man
Have you ever heard of a ladder?
in a window.
Ladies and gentlemen, man of tomorrow. I'm the man of your fair.
How did he get up there?
How did he get up there?
You're our leader now.
Magic.
But he's like, you idiots dream of engines that befoul our air and factories that ruin our waterways, and you call it progress. Like,
As
this
opposed
is,
to what?
This is Golden Age Superman, who's like, hey, I don't care who you are or what position in society you are. If you do wrong by people, I'm gonna mess you up.
Interesting. But he doesn't want to take over the city.
No.
So this is like
So
a
it's-
cracked mirror version.
Exactly. Well, it has to be because he's the villain of the book.
Right.
But he's like, if you ignore my warnings, I will burn your city to the ground.
With my vision.
My
With his
heat
with
vision.
his heat vision born from the sun.
Yeah, he says, with the fire of the sun,
And
I'll
I'm like,
burn you
oh
to the
my
ground.
God. Is this like a post-Dark Knight Returns kind of like
Okay.
Yeah.
Superman is kind of a fascist concept?
Yeah, I guess.
Meanwhile,
Weird.
Bruce Wayne is there because he's a wealthy socialite. He was invited. And he's like, what the fuck?
That's odd.
So anyway, Tolliver's like, get him! And then he's like, you have your conditions. Goodbye. And then jumps out the window.
He does leap out the window with his arms stretched out.
Yeah.
Right?
All right, I'm on
Yeah.
board.
So then Tolliver's like, oh, well, he jumped out. He's dead anyway. Never mind. And then they go check, and he's not there. And they're like, oh! And they're like, so anyway, are you going to cancel the fair? Which is what he asked him to do. And he's like, no!
No, what?
No!
No, he made a proclamation and then left.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I have
said
to
he was
listen to
going to
that guy.
burn the city down.
It'd be so funny if, like, someone noticed that, and so every unpopular policy decision made by Tolliver is interrupted by a flamboyant man in the window.
Yeah, I mean, once you do
Once you
that,
find out he's susceptible.
Oh, okay, well.
Which is why Tolliver put his foot down right there. He's like, oh no! This is just
right.
dangerous precedent.
right, we do not negotiate with terrorists.
That's right.
That is what that man is.
So Bruce is having dinner. So Bruce is having lunch with Julie, and she is like, oh my God, they're not really going to take him seriously, are you? And he's like, well, it's hard to tell what he is. He seems insane and outlandish and weird. It was just kind of odd. And she's like, well, I know one guy who probably could have dealt with it, but apparently he's a no-show, Batman. And Bruce is like, we don't need Batman, honey. Batman is the least of our solutions.
Who appointed the Batman?
I mean, there's a lot of weird references that are pulled from here that could be in movies, like the idea of a Batman who has solved the mystery of his parents' murder and killed them, or at the very least stopped them personally. And that's the Burton / Schumacher movies. That's just Batman Forever.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I'm now Batman, not because I have to be, now because I choose to be. It's like, that's kind of what the message of this story is.
Yeah.
And it's before Batman Forever. But also, you know, his whole The only thing is, in Dark Knight, he's making fun of them or something. Like, he is Batman, though.
I feel like he's toying with the idea of maybe
not
I
being
don't need
Batman.
to be Batman.
Right.
Let me see.
Yeah, I don't remember a single movie that's come out where he's like, I'm not Batman. Batman's over.
That's
But
true.
they keep pulling me back.
I mean,
That's kind of Dark Knight Rises because he's been
Definitely Dark
he's
Knight
stopped
Rises.
being Batman for a while.
I have a cane now.
That's because he was incapacitated.
But only because he's an idiot. Like,
Yeah, and as soon as he wants to, he becomes
immediately
Batman
puts
again.
Batman stuff on. So Bruce like lights up a cigar and he's like, yeah, Batman, we don't need him. You know, Julie, it's funny that you talk so highly about Batman. It's almost like you have a kind of romantic interest in Batman.
I like that she's saying, I don't have romantic feelings for him. Like, well, I wouldn't call it that.
Yeah, no.
It's not. There's no romance involved in what you're thinking about.
No.
Yeah, it's pure physical lust.
Exactly.
That's right. Sociological lust. After Jack the Ripper, Gotham has changed, and our innocent days are over now. And we are inviting a new future and kind of a meaner one. Because we've lost our innocence, and we need someone who's prepared for a mean tomorrow.
I hate to tell you this, but Gotham never had innocence.
Well, no. So we see Bruce like kind of thinking about what she's saying, and his silhouette being the Batman silhouette, and you're like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Like, he's like, oh, that's kind of a good point.
Yeah.
And hey, the chick I'm banging is kind of into Batman.
I am torn now.
Figured out a new. I found
Could bring out a suit.
Yeah.
If things want to get spicy.
It says cobwebs on it.
He'd clean it first. He'd tell Alfred to clean it
Alfred,
first.
clean the suit. And leave out the crotch. So then we see Leroy is meeting up with a clandestine new party who is helping to finance / facilitate Leroy's terrorism. He is obfuscated by a convenient ornate lamp in front of his face, classic comic book trope, and describes like, we have a deal here. Like, you do your deal and I get what I want. And he's like, oh yes. And he gives him like plans for the structure of Gotham and all the locations and stuff like that.
It's okay, we'll recognize him by the sound of his voice. Oh, wait.
That's right. That's how you can get away with even hiding the gender of the speaker. I've had page turn reveals where it's like, it could be Gwen or the Scorpion. Like, wrong, it was Jonah. Like, And he believes that he has a vision of the future, and his vision is more or less like, this is not progress. All this crap that we're like so obsessed with and interested in, like barreling headfirst as fast as possible into the future, that is not the direction we should be going in.
You're just wrong.
I guess he's
wrong.
You're
just
doing it
French.
wrong.
He's just like, look,
It's French.
they had a revolution because they didn't take care of their people.
I mean,
we can't let that happen here.
yeah, but I would not put a lot of stock in how Leroy deals with the disenfranchised. So anyway, he's just like, we're going to teach them a lesson, and if they don't listen to me, and I know they're not going to, then I'm going to have to really give it to them. Anyway, bye. And so he says, it is really very simple to see all these things, particularly for one who lives in the clouds. And then he hops onto a rope ladder and ascends out of the window. Again, another like flying visual metaphor.
I wonder if he is a reference to anarchists.
Yes.
Because there was like a whole thing around this time of like anarchists are everywhere and they're like this subversive element. They were accused of assassinating Franz Ferdinand.
Yes.
And McKinley, President McKinley. So that it was like a meme at the time, or like a thing that was happening in society.
Yeah.
And I do wonder if that's what he is a reference to. Now I don't know what the ideology of these people was. That
I mean, it's anarchy. It could be anything.
yeah, it's like
Which is why it's empty. You don't see his manifesto.
right. It's very unclear. It's just like we're going the wrong way.
Yes. I got a gut feeling that this is not how we should be doing
And I
this.
think I need to use like violent force to stop it.
Well, there's no other way to convince these people who are led only by money and power.
Right.
So we get to see the fairgrounds or the concept, and it's like this big open space. Again, like this is a big open space full of grass that could be used for people, but instead is being co-opted by the city to be a monument to their own crapulence.
Right.
And we see Tolliver's being like, oh, and this is where the big pavilion's gonna be, and this is where the crowd, where people can trade in their tickets for money and stuff. And Bruce Wayne is there too because he's expecting something to happen, and so he's like, Wayne, if you want to be involved in these things, you got to be on time. And Wayne's like, oh, excuse me. Meanwhile, they're just pointing out what they're gonna be doing, and then there's another curious image. Like it's a gun, it's a Gatling gun,
Yeah.
but running on its own power, painted like a clown.
Huh.
And it's sent after Tolliver, and Bruce Wayne ends up jumping in the way and stopping him. Also, regular workers are getting shot by this thing. Like, folk who are just there tending the area and preparing for the fair get shot in the leg, a couple people die.
Wow.
And I wonder if your theory about anarchy is correct because the Joker is such a representation of that. And the clown metaphor. I mean, like, if you're doing a Batman book and you have a clown, there's no other two ways about it.
It has green hair.
Right. It has green hair.
It has green
red
hair.
nose.
It's the Joker.
And it has to be. But also, there's no other element to Leroy that implies Joker.
Right.
We're getting nonstop Superman suggestions, and then he also unleashes this Joker automaton gun. And I'm like, now you're mixing your metaphors, and I have no idea why, outside of the concept that it's just like, no. He is an element of chaos and anarchy, and so he will embrace them. Although he also doesn't attack Tolliver with like a very cold gun or with a riddle of some kind.
Right. But
Thankfully.
that's because a clown's a lot easier to do.
Well, yeah. And you immediately get it.
Yep.
Or maybe you don't. So Bruce...
Yeah, I get it. Wait, what?
But like, do I?
Like, wait, what?
Anyway,
Like,
Bruce throws like a pilar at it, and it just... Because it's made in the 1890s, it just falls apart.
Well, and it's
Oh
such
no,
a
my cogs and gears!
precise throw. He hits it in the exact right spot.
Oh, yeah, that's Batman.
It's a weak point.
And Tolliver's just like, what the crap was that, Wayne? You almost knocked my damn head off. And Bruce's like, oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry
for
about
saving
that.
your freaking life, you goddamn idiot.
Yeah, so then they pop the head off of the clown, and in it is a note. You ignored me, the city burns, you die, the master.
Oh, damn.
It's just short and to the point.
That's
it's practically a haiku.
It's a great message because it's like, there's nothing you can do. It's already happened.
You've done it. You
Right.
didn't listen to me. You're good.
Yeah, I'm not making any more demands. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
You're
Gordon even
responsible.
says, like, we should have taken it more seriously. And he's like,
Hang on, Gordon. What does that mean?
we should have just canceled the fair. We
Like
should have taken
what?
all of our money that we threw at the fair and just pissed it down our leg.
Like, that was never going to happen.
No,
no.
it wasn't, and you would be ashamed that you even suggested that now.
But
Yeah.
also, like, then what? Like, then Leroy knows that he's the king of Gotham and
Right.
he can do whatever he
Well,
wants.
I don't know about that. I just know that, my police force can't possibly protect the whole city all at the same time. It's not possible.
Well, then why do we have
The best thing to do to keep everyone safe is to shut down this event, you know?
Yeah, and acquiesce to this
Right.
terrorist
There's been a
demand.
credible threat. We have to,
What we really should be doing is having a duly appointed representative of our superhuman community to beat the shit out of this guy. We don't have to worry about it anymore. But he says to himself,
Gordon,
he's
Are
like,
you referring to yourself?
you're right? Because Tolliver's like, just get more cops. And
Right.
Gordon's like, we don't need more cops. We need Batman.
I need Batman. We
said
need
no
Batman.
one ever. Like, what? This is such a weird universe where everybody wants the Batman.
Well,
As, like,
maybe we're the
every-
reader. Like,
Except for
we
Bruce.
all want Batman. And well, Bruce is kind of like, I think I want Batman. Alfred's like, no, you don't.
Bruce is like, I'm not sure. I do like punching things.
I like punching, but I also like getting it on the regular from Julie. And I really feel like Batman might put like kind of a monkey wrench in those plans.
I don't know. It sounds like she's kind of into it. It sounds like you just need to tell her.
I agree. I feel like you could get the best of both worlds out of that.
Yeah.
We get a fun book with Batman in it at some point, please.
You will have Batman
in your comic
Batman book.
The cover promises nothing but Batman. So anyway, Batman goes down to the basement, and he's just thinking about like, maybe.
Should I be Batman?
Well, does the public want me to be Batman? And then he talks to the suit where he's like, well, old man, what do you say? Should we resurrect you for the common good?
I say we do.
So he puts it on. Alfred goes,
Yay.
Alfred's like been walking the entire grounds, must have taken a week. And he gets downstairs and he's like, Master Bruce, I've been looking for you. Like, are you? Oh no. And he's just dressed like Batman.
Do you know how moldy that thing is right now?
Right? But
Please let me clean it.
yeah, what a cool image of Batman.
That's
Like,
awesome.
In the darkness, ready to go. So anyway, the fair is going to open up. They get another letter from the Master in between Batman putting on that suit and the fair opening.
How was this one delivered?
We don't know. I think they just get a letter. It probably gets dropped. It was probably just dropped off police headquarters because it just says, "The fair and this city's finest burn tonight. You must be shown the Master." That's it.
What is happening on this page showing the newspaper
Well.
with this weirdo print that's unreadable?
That's because I don't want to write anything. I give you all the information you need. The Gotham Guardian, the fair opens today, mayor presides over opening ceremonies, and you know what kind of friggin' article it is. And I want to show a newspaper clipping.
Right.
But I don't want to write all that crap. I got to write an article. And I'm always impressed when someone does write copy
something, yeah.
for a newspaper that is really only a picture.
Yeah. Like, I've seen this before where maybe the whole panel's a little smaller, so you can just barely read the part you're supposed to read, and the rest
Yeah.
of it's like little squiggles.
Right? Is it Greek?
Well, this is little squiggles. It's just,
no.
It looks like
bad squiggles.
Yeah. Well, it looks deliberate.
Yeah, it looks very deliberate. It looks like it's a code.
Maybe it's a code.
Maybe it's a code.
Why would the Gotham Guardian deliver an article about the mayor?
Well, no,
it's just for us.
It's the code for the reader.
Right. I guess. Where they just tell you
No,
who is.
that's impossible because there's no breaks in the letters.
Well, unless it's like
It's a really
Aramaic or
hard
something.
code.
It's just weird. It's insane. I was like, what? I remember seeing it and being like, oh no, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do
just
that.
Put Gordon's hands over it. Or
Yeah.
Aha! No.
something. No. Yeah, it'd be great. No, Gordon could just have his hand on top of it, like he's like talking to someone.
Yeah,
complaining
it could
about
just be like if you just take this, shrink it down, and have it like on the table.
Yeah.
You'll be able to see all the words you need to see.
Or a cup of coffee over the words.
Yeah.
I know. It's just it draws a lot of attention to it.
Yeah.
It really was meant to only be seen and then ignored.
Ignored, yeah, but I can't look away.
No. So Tolliver is talking to his manservant about how great today is going to go when Leroy smashes through the window
Oh, shit.
and attacks him. And so Tolliver demands his manservant call the police, and as this poor man is making his way out the door, the Master of Tomorrow takes out his pistol and blows this poor servant's brains out. So he's done.
Yikes.
And Tolliver's like, I'll give you anything you want. And
Oh, crap.
yeah, and the Master of Tomorrow's like, I don't want anything. I wanted you to not do the fair, and
Yeah,
the
it's
fair
too
is
late.
going off without a hitch, so you're coming with me. So
Oh.
get out the window and climb up into my zeppelin.
A zeppelin which looks like a dragon or something?
Or a bug?
What is that?
Right?
What am I looking at?
It's incredibly distinct is what it is. I think it's a dragon.
How did nobody notice this thing?
Well, it's really high up. Look at how far away the city is. Plus, it looks like it took, well, yeah.
How did he get into it if it's that high up?
There's a really long rope ladder. This is a jump cut.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
Zeppelin was much lower before we saw it.
But then
here.
it would have attracted a lot of attention.
Well, that's true.
I mean, it probably did, but like,
Where's
we're not seeing that.
Where's the Master of Tomorrow? We can't find him. We don't know where he's gonna strike. Hey, whose gigantic airship is that?
You know that-
Have you tried looking at that thing?
You know that convenient shadow that covers the entire city in darkness every few days? Look up at it once in a while.
Yeah, maybe someone should take a look at that. That?
But how do I go up there? That's not what I can do. Batman himself even demonstrates later where it's like, but it's up there.
It's high. How do
What
I
the
get
hell?
up high? We
don't
haven't
know what I'm
invented
gonna do.
airplanes yet. I don't
I
know.
don't
How
have like a grapple gun that can shoot up there. That's insane. Master Tomorrow gives Tolliver a little tour of his base of operations, which is in this insane zeppelin.
yeah, this is Bioshock
I
like
was thinking this
This is
Bioshock
Bioshock
Infinite. Yeah.
Infinite.
This is Antonio. So Tolliver introduces him to his automaton friend Antonio. Antonio is a robot that flies the Zeppelin. What is Antonio a reference to? Antonio is a reference to an actual automaton that was invented around this exact same time that was a non-mechanically powered trapeze artist named Antonio Diavolo. Amazing automaton trapeze robot from the 1840s.
Was it like a wind-up machine?
I don't know how it works, but it just he could go over the bar. He could lift up his legs one at a time. Like he did, it was just remarkable.
Yeah, that's like magic
Yeah,
then.
and here he is now flying Leroy's ship, and it's like that's just a deliberate reference that Augustine's making to robot fiction / reality.
Yeah,
of
just
the
like
time.
a thing he knew about the time.
I thought it was a reference to Iron Man because he's metal and his name is Tony.
Right.
Right. That's fair.
I mean, Iron Man could be a reference to that.
Maybe Man of Tomorrow, maybe Superman being Man of Tomorrow is a reference to someone from the 1890s who is this guy.
Well, don't forget also that this is a Man of Steel.
Oh,
Maybe it's
that's
Kellex.
also there. Oh my god.
Superman has a robot butler / sidekick. Holy crap!
Are we to believe that this automaton has like an AI and is able to actually fly the Zeppelin, or is
Okay,
he
no,
just
it's
doing?
just
Is he
pulleys
just
and
doing
levers.
this?
No, he's just doing this. He's keeping it steady.
Right. He's just an
Yeah,
autopilot.
he's autopilot.
But
Right.
Leroy is nuts
right.
because he does treat Antonio like a living person.
Okay, so it's like a way to show the madness of
Yes.
Leroy.
And also gets away with putting a robot in this book.
Right. Okay.
So anyway, at the fair, there's like a rich person pavilion where they're all having like a little party, and they're all wondering where the hell.
That's the fair.
Well,
the
yeah.
entire fair is the
It's
rich person
everyone
pavilion.
being rich and having martinis. They're all kind of wondering like, where the hell's the mayor? This motherfucker wouldn't shut up about this fair and how important it was, and he's not even here. Meanwhile, Bruce notices a buzzing sound, which is the Zeppelin, by the way, which would be, I think, a little more cacophonous than a buzz, but still.
That's pretty high up.
It's very high up.
It's true. So, and they are. You can see just how far away they are. But Leroy's like, well, anyway, we're done here. Let me show you what I meant by burning the city. And then proceeds to reveal this doomsday weapon they have attached to the Zeppelin, which is a straight up lens. It is a James
It's just a
Bond
giant
lens.
microscope.
Yes.
He's gonna burn them like
He's
ants.
gonna burn them like ants. He's gonna magnify the sun's rays into this lens and just start.
Meanwhile, he's at the wrong height because
That's
everyone
friggin'
knows you have to
awesome.
like really get the right spot
yeah.
for the magnifying glass. So it's just like Oh, we're a little
What do
too
you mean?
high, low?
No, I don't have to worry about that. Antonio has all control over where we are.
Antonio, you're blowing this for me.
You're embarrassing me.
Go higher.
I'll make it up to you later. So everyone like is looking outside. They're seeing the zeppelin and how it's like getting ready to go. Maybe it's like actually doing that. Like, oh shit, I gotta go higher, a little lower. Meanwhile, everyone's like, what the fuck? And Bruce is like, nah, that is a problem. Meanwhile, Julie's there and she's like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, we have to tell everybody something really bad is about to happen. We gotta get them out of here. Meanwhile, Leroy just goes meh, and just burns the pavilion to the ground. Just brrr.
Wow.
Amazing sequence. I
That's
love it.
awesome.
And they're just like, ah, just watching all these wealthy aristocrats going like, ah! Fantastic.
And at that time, like, that's a marvel. That is a wonder of the ages.
I mean, as it stands, hey, a zeppelin. That's always fun to see.
Oh, it must be part of the fair.
Oh my
Bones. What if it had been a cloudy day?
Leroy picked this day in particular. I mean, I think.
I'm sure he looked at the Farmer's Almanac and it told him it was going to be sunny.
I'll tell you something about the
But this was the opening of the fair.
Yeah. They planned for this. They knew that the day was
Yeah,
going to be
they
crystal
planned the fair for a day when the sun would be out.
Well, they were hoping. I mean, you know, certainly they. I will say, yeah. I think so.
Statistically speaking, there's a 90% chance that this day of the year would be sunny.
Right.
So there, you know.
This is one of the few times that Gotham is not rainy and overcast.
Exactly. No, it's like 9 a.m. No, it's got to be like 12 or something. So Tolliver, to his credit, is just like, please stop doing this. Like, he's not like, well, they're all ants anyway. Let's burn them together. He's just like,
I feel like you absolutely would.
yeah.
Like,
He's
you
like,
think I give a crap about this city?
I'll kill you.
All
and
right,
take your
what's
zeppelin.
it gonna take? How
Yeah,
much?
Yeah. So Tolliver asks him, begs him to, stop his reign of terror, and he's like, "Nah, we're done. Like, we're done. It's already over. I'm burning everything. You have nothing I want, and your people need you, so you should probably get down to them." So he just pushes them out the window. And I've seen a lot of people plummet to their deaths in comics, but like this book took painstaking efforts to show you just how high up the zeppelin is, and the idea of him falling out of this thing just really is terrifying.
Yeah.
Especially knowing that this is Gotham by Gaslight Batman is not going to.
He can't do anything.
No, this guy's just going to fall and die.
Quick, call the fire department. They'll come out with that big trampoline.
Yeah, no time. So people are in like the main dome area within the fair, and they're just like, "Oh my God, we're all going to die!" And I love that they're like, "This is all Tolliver's fault. Where the hell is he?" And then he crashes through the giant glass
Oh my
dome.
God.
That's awesome.
That's perfect.
Awesome.
Wow.
Meanwhile,
Don't worry, you also get lacerated right before you crush into the ground.
oh yeah. Well, what's worse is, crashing through that window will slow your descent. You might not die when you hit the ground.
It's not that much of a slow.
I'm just saying, you got to break through
You might live
that
for
glass.
a few seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get to live with the agony of having been cut and crushed to death by gravity. So through the commotion, Batman has lost track of Julie, and he's just like, "Oh no, Julie!" Well, so he's looking for her. Meanwhile, the Zeppelin's coming up for another pass, and he's like, "This son of a bitch is sitting in his Zeppelin just laughing at us right now. I gotta get up to him. How am I gonna do that?" He sees a glider that looks convenient like a Batman attachment, and he's like, "Maybe this could work. I'm not going to hang my hat on this, but maybe it could work." So he's trying to loosen this attraction as part of the fair for his own purposes when Alfred finds him. And Alfred's like, "Sir, I'm here." And he's like, "Alfred, what are you doing here?" And he's like, "I thought you might need this," and brings him his Batman suit. And Bruce is like, "Thank you, old friend." And I love this sadness on Alfred's face where he resigns to the idea that we need a Batman, but it has to be my boy to do it. Like, it's just, I don't want you to be Batman. We had a good thing going.
Yeah, we had like a year and a half, man.
Yeah, we had a good year.
You were getting married.
Right? Yeah.
I feel like it's all going up in flames right now.
Right, like the city itself.
Yeah.
So, meanwhile, the fire brigade and the local police are trying to do what they can, but the city is burning, especially the slums. The slums are taking it real bad. Those are burning up the most.
Wait a minute. Why?
Why would Leroy choose this? Well, we'll see.
Yeah, well,
So-
part of some
I just
fucking
assumed that,
real
like-
estate scam or some shit.
Maybe.
Is he the guy? Is his financier the guy from the beginning? It's like, you need to invest in the slums.
Yeah. He's the guy.
God damn it.
Well, because they didn't. So he's like, well, I guess I'll just have to collect on the insurance then.
Yep. It's an insurance scam.
Yeah.
And it was a scam from the start.
Yeah.
Like, he just wanted money. He didn't want to help those people.
Well, No.
No,
But
he did want to fix
did.
the slums.
Yeah.
Well, now they're burning to death.
Well, and that's what makes him recant. He's like, in theory, I'm okay with mass murder, but I'm on the ground seeing them burning, and I thought, holy shit.
Oh, this is too much.
This isn't what I had in mind.
Too far.
Yeah. That's amazing.
So we see the city burn, and the brigade's doing what they can, but it's 1890, and the whole city is being killed by a death ray.
Right.
So it's not quite working as well as you think.
They're a little underpowered on the ground.
Meanwhile, Julie is seeing all this happen, and she sees that there's a kid trapped, and the fire brigade's dispatched, and there's no way to stop it. So she runs in to help, and then the roof caves in from more fire, and so now Julie and the kid are gonna die, but Batman shows up because he's like, I can't just jump up to that fucking zeppelin, so I'll just help people on the ground. So he goes there, and the first person he saves is the girl he's having sex with. And so he helps her, lifts up the beams of fire, and then carries both Julie and the little girl, hey, new Robin, out of this burning wreckage and gets them there. And she looks at him, she's like, it's you! Thank you. He goes, my pleasure, I gotta go. And she's like, yeah, go. Go stop him, because you just spoke for a few seconds, and I know what Bruce Wayne sounds like, so bye. So he sees that, by the way, the Master of Tomorrow is like on the rope ladder, just being like, yeah, this is amazing, I'm having the time of my life up here.
Antonio, a little to the left!
I want to piss on these people.
Antonio!
Antonio!
I'll do it to myself.
I'll get him.
There.
Good job, Antonio.
You're welcome, sir.
It's just his own voice.
You're welcome.
Oh, Batman, could you push this guy or something, please? So Batman climbs up to like a high up scaffold, and then I don't know, it takes 45 minutes to pull
Yeah, right?
the fucking
Glider
up. But I like seeing Batman like just using his muscles and weight. He's just like, oh my god, this is gonna be a minute. So he pulls it up, but he's atop the burning city and uses the smoke
The heat.
to lift himself up.
He rises the thermals.
Nice.
It's like, let's hope that, Leroy really burned the shit out of this city.
All right, I can use this to get up there. Oh my god, my eyes. Oh, this is real bad.
Well, he just says, it's working, I'm gliding. Let's hope it keeps up. And I'm like, keeps up?
Keeps up.
The more the city burns, the more I can save it.
Okay, Batman. So Batman catches up with Leroy. I love it. He's like, what? Antonio, we have to get out of here.
He really is trying to get him to do things.
Enough with Antonio.
That robot's not gonna do shit, my friend.
I was gonna say, in the next panel, you're gonna see Antonio plummeting out with a parachute on.
Yeah.
No, but there's only one.
The book just turned into airplane.
See ya.
Okay, so Leroy, his whole thing is like, hello, I'm the master of the future, and you gotta listen to me. Oh, this future thing is not working out for anybody. Listen to what I have to say. And then he sees Batman, and he's like, oh shit, we gotta get the fuck out of here. Those motherfuckers, okay, now they're really gonna pay. They really didn't listen to me this time. And I'm like, okay, dude, like,
But they're trying to stop me?
what a bunch of assholes. Attack me, they'll never learn. So Batman desperately reaches for Antonio's hubris ladder and then grabs onto it, climbs up, and, Leroy thinks that Batman missed. Batman shows up and he's like, ho ho! And so then they engage in a sword fight, which is like, thank you. Motherfucking thank you for this. Right? Because this asshole has a sword, and it's been there. It's Chekhov's rapier.
Yep.
Just sitting there waiting for Batman to get in a sword fight.
He should have used the gun first.
Yes.
After firing like 5 shots and running out of bullets, then he should have pulled out the
This
sword.
guy is nothing if not theatrical. He's like, no, Batman, eh? Let's go, on guard. So Batman and he fight, and it's like really fun. First,
Batman has a sword?
no, he gets a sword.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, it's very ungentlemanly to attack someone without a sword.
I agree. He does immediately attack Batman with a sword. No, Batman grabs Leroy's big globe and just throws it at him.
Nice.
But when Leroy is thrown off by the globe, he bumps into Antonio, popping Antonio's head off.
Yes.
My friend, Antonio!
He has
You've killed Antonio.
Captain Clown! Like, we have that moment in here, he's crying.
Oh my god, this is
man.
great.
Antonio, you killed him! And so Batman's like, well, that's great. Good thing Leroy collects swords because I got a few over here, and he grabs one. I love how Barreto draws this. I love all the art in this. Barreto freaking crushes it, where it is flamboyant. It's like an Errol Flynn movie.
Yep.
Oh,
Or
very
Batman's-
much.
Zorro.
Yeah, or Zorro. Just Batman's stances and positions and everything, just like, nah! Like, you could hear the music. I'm just disappointed there's no chandelier in this.
Look, he's got his pinkies out because he's a gentleman.
That's right, exactly. Oh, you're a gentleman. You must be Bruce Wayne. You're a socialite. But so yeah, he just punches him, and then there is a reference, by the way, in this about how someone's invented a non-gas light, and that being
flameless candle.
a flameless candle, if you will. And I love the idea of them like referencing that in this because like even the gaslights themselves are like this universe. The reason why it's called Master of Tomorrow is because Gotham by Gaslight is over.
Right.
Like the universe may continue, but like we don't even use gaslights anymore. And I just like that's awesome. And then how about in 2024 we just bring it back anyway because everyone knows that name.
We're gonna gaslight you into forgetting this book.
Fantastic.
I hope in the second sequel, it's like a alternate universe or alternate history where like technology regresses and we have to go back to gaslights because that whole electric light bulb thing didn't work out.
I'm sad to say it is not.
Oh.
It's just a couple of years later, and I'm
Right.
like, oh.
And there's still some gaslights around.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah,
you
we have
can
them to
be-
this day.
In
The
less civilized
infrastructure to get
places.
rid of them, we have so many.
Yeah. No, it's called the Kryptonian Age. It's like, right.
Okay.
And there's like a Catwoman in it. It's like, man. No, look, I get it. It's what you would do. It's what you do if you're tasked with doing it, unless you invented it.
So,
and you're
well,
tasked
yeah,
with
and
doing
you
it.
didn't do that. You did a brand new thing.
Oh, that's right. But that's
Which
the guy
is
who invented
awesome,
it,
by
not
the
guy
way.
who didn't. I know.
Yeah, this is so dope. I love this book.
That's right. And you know why you love it? Because it's not the same thing. It's
Yep.
different.
Yep.
So they're fighting on the bridge of his insane zeppelin, and the lights have gone out, and so Batman and he continue to fight, and Leroy continues to go deeper and deeper into. Oh, you would be adopted in the dark.
Oh, and every moment it's just like tete-a-tete, ta-ting, ta-ting, ta-ting.
Yep, and then
climb the
Antonio
ladder,
represses,
ta-ting,
he's like,
ta-ting.
oh, I gotta get out of here. He's just trying to get as much distance between him and Batman. You're like, okay. So we get in there, and now they're like on beams, and there's just big open chasms for Leroy to fall down in.
It's awesome.
And I don't know, again, I'm sorry if I keep insisting on this being a Superman thing, but there's just so many weird, subtle references to it, and I'm like, I don't understand why you would do that unless it's in a post-Dark Knight Returns world where it's like, Superman is a fascist and he's lame. But while they're fighting and Leroy keeps talking about how great he is, Batman says, so long as I have space to fly, the advantage is not all yours, but you, my friend, have no wings. As if to say, like, you're not all that. You can't fly.
Right. I know you can't fly.
Right.
You jumped out the window that time.
Yeah.
And there's some trickery, and I don't know how you did it.
Right.
But you didn't fly.
And I guess it's that he must have grabbed onto the ladder and the
Right.
Zeppelin took away.
Right. That's
But
not flying.
No.
That's falling
it's
with
like,
style.
No, you're not Superman.
Right.
I don't believe it.
So he falls, Leroy does. Meanwhile, Antonio is just like, "Meh," and I don't know, Gage says that it's in the danger zone. Gage for what? Who gives a shit? All you know is now there's
pressure?
it's
No.
a ticking clock.
No,
no.
that's just the
plot.
the meta gauge.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, Batman's in the most danger he could be in, because Leroy slashes Batman across the chest and he says, first blood belongs to me, and I'm like, the fight's almost over. And you finally got it. He says, now for the coup de grace, and Batman just kicks him in the chest. That's enough. We can't do this forever, man. Stop. Batman, swoops out of the way, grabs a convenient chain, swashbuckles his way to a higher ground, which of course is undefeatable. And it turns out that, I think it is the pressure because we're in the danger zone. The whole Zeppelin starts vibrating. And he's like, this whole thing's gonna come apart. We have to bail, or this whole thing will just shake apart. We'll all die.
Right.
And he's like, don't distract me with your trickery. He goes, are you blind and deaf? We have to leave.
Oh, how great would it be if it was just the heat from the lenses?
Yeah.
Like, you have to turn off that giant death ray for a little while so it cools down.
Yeah.
It's getting too hot.
Yeah,
It's gonna burn up.
Yeah, I don't know who turns off the lens, because otherwise just bang the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah, well, never mind that.
Yeah, so he's like, the gas mains are gonna blow. We gotta go. And Leroy says, no, I will not be cheated. The spoils are mine for the taking. And he goes, then take them with you, you maniac. And he just jumps out the window.
All right, I tried.
Okay, bye. So he hops out, and
What's Batman gonna do?
Yeah, what's he gonna do?
And I love the idea that I guess the gas mains go, and the gas light that they broke still has an open flame in it, which ignites the gas and triggers the Hindenburg 30 years early.
Yeah.
Because, oh, the humanity.
Like, that is, yep.
Oh, and it crashes in the water.
Yeah.
It explodes as it's hitting the water.
Right.
That's an interesting coincidence.
Sure. So everyone from the shore is just like, whoa.
Whoa.
What
That was awesome.
Okay.
What an amazing day.
Okay, so he landed in the water.
Yeah, so
Good.
Batman jumped out in the ocean,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, that's how Batman survives. is
That's
'cause it's in
right,
the
that's
water.
right.
Yeah.
And so we see Gordon kind of like wrapping things up with a neat little package. And by the way, Alexander Leroy's future ended before it began. Ha ha ha. And then Gordon goes, unfortunately, 133 men, women, and children died.
Is he talking to the guy who like funded him?
No, he's talking to Thorne. Rupert Thorne.
Another
The
guy who was
only-
also there.
Yeah, who also is like the money man. He's like, I'm next in line to be mayor. And it's like, oh no,
Great.
Rupert Thorne, he's a bad guy in the Batman universe.
Oh, yeah?
The only
Yeah.
other, like, I love that it's like, well, yeah, but he's like a regular person. No costume for Rupert Thorne, so he gets to be in the book pretty much as is.
Right, right.
But, yeah, so Thorne mentions that he's next in line to be mayor, unless Claypool, the slumlord, disputes him. And Gordon says, I don't think you have to worry about that. Meanwhile, at Claypool's place, Batman is there. Like, Claypool comes home and Batman's in his seat, like, Franklin Claypool, I've been waiting for you. And he goes, you know why I'm here? And Claypool's like, yeah. I was the accomplice with Leroy.
The jig's up.
And he's like, how'd you know?
Crime was so easy back then.
Yeah.
You know why I'm here. I do.
Yeah, right.
Here's
got
my
me.
Let's
confession.
go. Put me in the stocks. And so anyway, he explains the real estate scheme. And basically he's just like, yeah, when they wouldn't invest in the city I knew, the only way I was going to get my return is by just burning it to the ground and collecting the insurance. But I never expected the cost. All those lives, all those people. Meanwhile, Gordon's outside, like just listening in. I assume that this is a coordinated effort between Batman and Gordon.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, he's just like, I'll tell you because I feel horrible about it. Like, I'm willing to go to jail because fuck me.
But what did you think was going to happen?
Maybe they were all going to go to the fair. Everyone in all those buildings. Or I couldn't cognitize the amount of... Like, I can't
Right.
imagine that
He
kind
said
of
he was
mass
going to
slaughter.
burn down the slums, but
Yeah.
I just thought, I don't
Like
know.
he'd light a fire or two.
Yeah, and they'd
I-
have to. It would start small, and there'd be time to escape. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's gonna vaporize those buildings
Right.
into like an instant.
Yeah, I gave him the blueprints for my area. I didn't see his blueprints for, like, a death ray or, like, a zeppelin in the
Right.
shape of a dragon.
Well, also, yeah, he did target the slums, but he also targeted like a building in the fair that was filled with people.
Oh, yeah.
So many of the deaths probably happened at the fair, which was not part of Claymore's plan.
No.
It's like, well, he wasn't, or Claypool's plan. He wasn't supposed to do that.
No.
The slums were not
Well,
supposed
no,
to be occupied.
I told you what I was going to do.
Well, that is
Like, I
true.
said that those
Yeah.
people had to burn.
And I was pretty graphic and insane in my language.
Yeah, I don't think anyone could misinterpret what I was planning on doing. Even Claypool, culpable of hundreds of deaths. Thank God someone stopped that madman. Like, even Claypool's kind of on the Batman train.
Right.
So Batman.
And Batman's like, it was me.
Yeah.
yeah, someone.
wasn't
motherfucker,
I'm
someone
right in
in
front of you.
You could bestow me with
No,
some kind
Batman.
Well,
Man,
we'll never know
It
who
couldn't
that
have been
benevolent
you.
stranger was.
Nobody could have survived that crash.
I
So
did, and I
There's
will,
no
and
reason for you to
you're-
lie about that, Batman. It was an unknown hero.
Unfortunately, you didn't survive on the way back to the prison. What? So Bruce and Julie are enjoying, like, the vista. I don't know. They're just, like, on a field. They're just looking at the river, where I guess the devastation took place after, like, a carriage ride. And Bruce is like, oh, man, what a beautiful view we're having. And Julie's like, yes, thanks to Batman. I hope we get to see him more. Like, I hope he's here to stay. And Bruce is like, well, who could say? He's kind of a wild card anyway. And she's like, Bruce, who can say?
I know
Really?
it was you. Antonio told me.
What? That's right. And he's driving the carriage now. It's a living.
I just hold my arm straight. The
Yeah.
horse goes straight. It's easy.
Exactly. No, it's nice work if you can get it. He's like, what do you mean? What are you talking about?
What?
She's like, I'm talking about you being Batman, Bruce. Just stop it. I mean, I knew the night you saved that little girl in me that masked and disguised the eyes of the man I love, or the voice or the lower half of his face. And he goes, now that you know, what will you do? And it's a beautiful moment because, like, she's embracing him and he's embracing her. But, like, if Grant Morrison is to be believed, he and Joker have a similar embrace at the end of The Killing Joke, where they're both laughing. And I don't know if you know this, but at the end of The Killing Joke, according to Grant Morrison at least, he strangles the Joker to death.
Yeah,
so,
right.
I feel like,
what will you do?
What will you do with my secret, Julie? Bruce, you know my opinion about Batman. He floods my bloomers. I'm like a water balloon down here right now.
I'm sorry.
All I'll do is love and encourage and support you no matter what. And then they kiss. And then the book ends with just an awesome image of Batman standing on another roof, which he did at the end of the first one. And I'm like, yeah, but you quit after that. And I guess now he's like, I'm really going to do it this time.
I'm really going to do Julie this time.
Yeah. Well, now that my fiance's down.
Right? I'm not going to stop. I don't have to listen to Alfred anymore. You're fucking fired.
Well, she's the woman of the house.
You
She'll
said
take
I
care
shouldn't
of the
do
manor
this.
now.
Yeah. Everyone in this house is on board being Batman.
And Julie's like, you're not fired.
You're not fired. I need somebody to make all this thing happen.
Yes, he is. He's fired for giving the worst advice ever.
Okay, he's fired.
Okay. Now, I mean, Alfred's on board. He brought the suit
He
to
did
Bruce.
bring the suit.
But the idea here is that, Bruce realizes at the end, and it's brought up through dialogue and exposition, that Bruce realizes that Batman was a tool for vengeance, but now can be a man for the people, a hero for regular, just like in The Batman.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, they're still ripping this off. But
that's a nice lesson.
yeah, and it's something that Augustine was like, I want to talk about this. I want to make it a swashbuckling, Errol Flynn-esque, high-flying adventure with a silly, flamboyant villain. Make it a completely tonal shift from the previous one, but also in the same universe, because that's what Batman can be. You can do all kinds of different stories with Batman, even in the same universe.
How's Julie gonna die?
Right. We've only seen Gotham by Gaslight Batman in one or two other stories. After this, I don't recall in what capacity outside of just seeing another Batman. He shows up in Dark Knight's Metal.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? You're Batman in 1899, and you get a tap on the shoulder, and it's Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, and he's like, get in line. And there's a vampire Batman, and a Superman Batman, and they're all like, we're going to go punch the Batman who laughs.
The what? Who?
What?
Oh, he's like if Batman became the Joker.
Yeah.
If Batman became what? Who?
That's so stupid. I don't even have a Joker.
You don't have a Joker. What the hell kind of Batman are you?
A comfortable one. A happy one.
I'm married.
What? To Catwoman? What's a Catwoman?
What the hell's a Catwoman?
No.
Oh my God.
We gotta fix this.
Oh my God, we gotta sit you down, man.
We got a life to ruin.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe a couple of you guys are like, how'd you do it? What'd you do?
What's your secret?
What's your secret, Batman? It's like, well, I have a well-balanced life. I know when to stop and when to take up a good thing, I met a girl who's into me being Batman, so I get to keep being Batman.
Whoa, wait. A girl who's into you being Batman. You mean she's not constantly nagging you to give it up?
Right? Or that she's not also a animal-based swashbuckling vigilante?
Right, who also has mental
why
problems.
Why would I want to date someone like that?
Yeah, that's a hat on a hat. We have two different ideas, We bring different things to the table.
Yeah.
We get boring real fast. Can you imagine trying to marry a Batman and Catwoman? You might get to half of the issue where that would happen, and then suddenly have a bait and switch where that didn't happen at the end anyway. But I bet it would sell a lot of variant covers. Batman Master of the Future is really fun, and it's usually in a collection for Batman Gotham by Gaslight. I fear that when this is out of hardcover and they make it a paperback, that they will make a Gotham by Gaslight omnibus that will collect
all of them.
Gotham by Gaslight, Master of the Future, all of his appearances in other random multiversal stories, and also this third one.
I'm really hoping they don't take Master of Tomorrow out.
Yeah, me too.
Because they could just be like, no, it's Gotham by Gaslight. It's Gotham by Gaslight, and then Gotham by Gaslight, Kryptonian Age.
It's all the ones you
And that would be
need
a
for
shame.
That would be a real shame. And I think that thanks to the fact that Brian Augustine created it in the first place, they will not leave it out. Plus, extra pages.
True.
It's a jack of
Yeah, I can charge
Flush
more
that
for the
out.
book.
That's right. But I guarantee if they ever did it again, there'll be words on this cover.
Can I just say that I'm really grateful that Leroy didn't turn out to be he didn't get his face weirdly painted at
No.
the end.
Yeah.
He didn't
He's
get
a clown.
scarred. It's just like, ah! You
didn't,
just
like,
go
cut
mad
his
and
face
laugh a lot.
up.
Nope, he didn't become Two-Face. He wasn't a master of riddles. Nor was he also a secret Kryptonian or something. Like, there was
Right.
just...
It's just a guy.
Just an asshole.
Yep.
Like, and there are some very heavy-handed Superman references.
For some reason.
For some
no
reason, but there's also
reason.
references to other characters, Batman
Yes.
characters.
The clown gun is the most egregious. That feels
Yeah.
like a note. That feels like a note from Denny O'Neil
You
being
gotta
like,
get some kind of...
Make it a clown. What, But that doesn't mean anything. It
I don't
doesn't make any
understand why.
sense.
It's a fair. Shut up. Put it in.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. He's
That's how
making a
we-
reference to the fair,
Yeah.
not any other reference.
Yeah, there's clowns at fairs. That's how he snuck it in.
Yeah.
As a clown automaton.
Right. A malevolent clown attacking a Batman character has no other meaning.
Nope. I don't know where your mind is going. Wait,
Okay, well, why is it a note then? Like, why are you insisting it be in it?
I just like clowns.
Oh, okay. I'll remember that for your birthday. So yeah, it's a fun, weird book that'll take about an hour to read. Like, it's just a really quick, easy indulgence that I think is worth any price of admission.
Oh, and if you were
Yeah.
able to decipher that newspaper clipping,
Let us know in the comments
you'll go
down below,
mad.
please. Yeah, that's true. You will also awaken an evil spirit that comes from the dark multiverse.
Yep.
Yeah, that will have a flying contraption with a laser on it.
Antonio will find you.
Oh, God.
Yeah, actually, it's the instructions on how to build him. You could build your own 19th century automaton.
This is really cool. There's not a lot to it.
No,
It is
it is
not
it's
intellectually deep.
no.
It's like what? 3 issues?
Maybe it was.
Maybe?
I'm so thankful it was released like this. It was a prestige bound
Exactly.
$6 sequel.
Yeah, just
There's not a ton there, but there's a lot on the pages.
That's true.
The art is fantastic, like you said. This
Yep.
is, I mean,
Yeah, Barretto just crushes it. It's
Really
grounded,
awesome. Yeah.
but also still bright and fantastic.
yeah.
It's just a fun indulgence. I love it. I am so thankful that it's so weird and so out there, and that Augustine wanted to challenge himself. He's like, I mean, number one, I did not expect Gotham by Gaslight 1 to blow up,
Yeah.
but I'm glad it did. And I appreciate the money, but I did not expect it to be successful and launch an imprint.
Yeah.
And number two, I appreciate that even though I was tasked with doing a sequel, which is Creatively Bankrupt, I did get to do whatever the hell I wanted.
Yeah.
And I'm so in awe of that. I want that level of trust and encouragement from any publisher, much less the DC Bat offices. Be like, yeah, go for it. Especially now that we have Elseworlds, like, fuck it.
Yeah.
We need to make 2 or 3 of these a year anyway. Like, that would be nice. And I bet that at DC right now, with the Elseworlds line, I'll bet it takes a lot of effort to get one greenlit. And I'm like, but why? There's no reason not to greenlight a million of them.
Yeah.
And part of the reason I'll bet is because they have to be mini-series. Like, I'm sure there is no good reason for Kryptonian Age to be this long.
Yeah.
Especially when Gotham by Gaslight and The Master of Tomorrow
Yeah, together.
fit in one trade paperback.
Of course there's a reason. I can sell more issues.
Yeah.
This trade is $30 because it's hardcover. The trade paperback will be cheaper,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not by much. So we'll see you guys next week with another episode. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
Keep reading.
Read this.
Yeah, read this. Pick this
Yeah.
up. I've seen. I think we have at least one other copy of this, although I don't know. I've seen this in dollar bins.
Oh.
Oh no, I mean like
It was $6 when it was sold. It's fine for it to be in
Yeah,
a
I
dollar
guess
bin
that's
now.
6. That's a lot. That's
91?
In 91, that would have been
I could have rented a movie and gotten a
That would
thing
have
of
been
candy for that.
crap ton of 91,
Yeah, in
right?
91, I could have rented a VCR and a movie.
I could have bought a car.
Yeah,
gone
but
to the
you
movies.
own the book.
Well, yeah,
So that's,
you can enjoy that all the time.
one of those dope art.
Yeah. No, back in the day, VCRs were so expensive that video rental outlets used to rent VCRs themselves.
If you didn't have one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no. It was like, hey, rent the VCR and the tape, so you could plug it in and watch it.
Yeah, I think VCRs were at least a couple $100.
They were very expensive, especially the earlier you get, like the top
Yeah.
loaders. I mean, I don't think they
Oh,
even
yeah.
rented those out. I think it was afterwards, but still,
Yeah.
we had a top loader.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome. That thing was it was like Antonio. It was just made of gears. And it was great because you'd turn it on and just, like it wouldn't even, it was like, it was just it just blasted out of its own case. And you
Well, yeah, it was spring powered. You had to really shove it back in
you
there.
plug that in, yeah, exactly. Ugh. And you hear the whole damn thing just going for it.
And then when you were done, I'm going to spend 20 minutes rewinding this thing.
Yeah, well, you put it back in, you hit rewind, and you
do something else.
Do something else for a couple hours.
My family got real fancy one time. We had a speed rewinder.
Oh, yeah.
We got a speed rewinder when DVDs were invented.
Yeah, that's when we got ours.
We
as
got
well.
ours
Yeah.
because, like, the drugstore had them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like $12.
Yeah.
They're like, all right.
It was like, oh, it'll save your VCR because rewinding is really hard on your VCR.
Our speed rewinder was shaped like a race car.
Yes.
To show you how fast it was, you see.
Of course, yeah.
Just like my bed was.
Right. Just like my bed is.
It's because I'm fast asleep.
Nice. Mine was shaped like a taper one. It was gray.
It was gray and a box.
And it didn't work because you'd push it and the spring was broken. So you had to hold it down to rewind.
Oh my god. That's
Thankfully,
a nightmare.
It was fast. I only had to be there for like a minute and a half.
Oh, you do it a couple times. You'd be like, oh, good, I'm going to be in the living room for a minute.
You go outside, you find a big brick, you put it on top.
Oh, we would put tapes on top of it. We
Oh,
put
there you
other
go.
tapes on top of it to keep it weighted down. But, VHS tapes were pretty light back then.
Yeah, so it took a
just
lot
took
of them.
all of them. But these were the things we did in the
Yeah, you had
90s.
to, yeah.
This is life. Life in the past.
I
It was
grabbed a
hard.
dinner plate with pasta on it. Here you go.
Yeah, there's always an extra one. I remember I had to take that fucking top loader apart a couple times because like it would eat the tape and you'd just be like, oh shit, here we go. So you just unscrew it and then take the top off and then put it, and you'd be like, oh my god, this thing looks like a space shuttle. But I don't know why. It's just like but it all made sense. You're just like, well, this goes here, this goes
Yeah,
here.
you follow things.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. And this is where the tape is stuck.
Oh, look. I problem solved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas
Well-
like, my phone's broken. You might as well throw it away.
Yeah. There was no fixing that.
There's no fixing that. And even if you tried, you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah. There are people who can fix
yeah.
a couple of things that could go wrong with it.
Yeah.
Like a
People not
small
me.
subset of the things that can break it can be fixed
Yes.
by people with specialized tools and skills.
And they will
Most
charge
of it.
you a lot.
Yeah, they'll
Yeah.
charge you half the cost of a new phone.
Right.
And most of it you can't fix. Be like,
Yeah.
oh, well, it's dead.
No. Yeah, this is just dead.
Yeah.